Good morning. It is 10:23 Saturday morning. I've been walking for about 34 minutes and first got up, made my coffee, had one cup, drank some of my element water, and Carol I saw was putting on her shoes. I'm like, "You going for a walk?" She's like, "Well, I wasn't really thinking about it, but she just wanted to put the garbage out." And I'm like, "Well, let's go for a walk." So we put the garbage out and then did about 1 kilometer together, and then I continued to walk. I'm like, I need to walk more. And my right knee right now is probably at a 0.01 for irritating or pain or anything like that. So the last walk I did, which was like, can't remember how many kilometers that was, 14 and a half, almost 15. I couldn't quite reach the 15 mark. I started getting a pain in my left knee, not the one that's actually damaged. My sweater's starting to fall off. I had this on to start walking because what's the temperature? I think it was like 6 degrees this morning. It's probably gone up to about 7 or 8 right now. But I walk fast because I like to burn a little more calories, get the heart rate up a little bit more than just a leisurely walk. And I just did a hill back there. So yeah, I got my first coffee in, and now I'm probably doing about a 5 to 6, 7K walk. Turns out about 7.5 kilometers is about an hour and 45 minutes approximately. So last night we launched the IHOP video, and I thank every single one of you guys for dropping by, showing some support, hitting that thumbs up, leaving those amazing comments that you guys always leave. Really appreciate it, and so does the restaurant, and I share that information back with them whenever we hit like a little milestone. And I can't remember what we were at this morning, but it's over 1,000 likes, and I think it's over the 10,000 views. I think I'll have to check when I get back, but thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. It's always nice. Like I said in the last video I did at IHOP, I did the 24 hours, didn't ask for their permission, they recognized me. That's why they asked me to come back to do this reviews, because they like my videos. They like how I shoot it. They like me. So they wanted to work with me to promote their restaurant location. And so it all works out in the end, right? Yesterday afternoon, when I was doing the IHOP video, editing it, doing the final touches, building the thumbnail and all that, I took out one of my porterhouse steaks, put it in the sink to get up to room temperature, and opened it up. And about an hour after that, peppered it up, Himalayan salted it up, and let it sit for a couple more minutes. Got the cast iron pan out, got it nice scorching hot, put a little extra virgin olive oil in the bottom, spread that around, threw my steak in for 3 minutes, flipped it over for 3 minutes, and it was beautiful. Cooked up some mushrooms too. So I added mushrooms to it with 30 grams of butter, and it was probably one of the best steaks I've ever cooked. And it was perfect. I'd like to have undercooked it just a little bit more. And Ben was watching me through this whole process, like walking back and forth, doing his own thing. And he said maybe next time, instead of just, say 3 minutes with a very hot skillet or very hot cast iron pan, you 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other side. And then some of the videos I watch, they say turn it down to low, add your butter, garlic, thyme, or rosemary, whatever you like, and then baste it like crazy. So I did that, but I kept the cast iron still too hot, because the cast iron, it takes a very, very long time for it to cool down. So Ben's thought was to, at that 6 minute mark, just pull it right off, just shut the heat right off, maybe pull it off that area. I know it's a gas stove, but those little elements that it sits on, they're still hot too, right? So pull it off, put it on a cooler side, add your butter, thyme. If it starts to cool down too quickly, maybe get back in there and get some heat on it to get things going again. When I started cutting into it, and it was like all crispy on the outside and juicy and tender on the inside, like I said, it was one of the best steaks I ever ate. And that's all I ate last night. I had that, the mushrooms, the butter. I was going to add eggs and bacon to it, but I didn't need to, because there's like 1.5 pounds of amazing beef. 11 minutes, 38 seconds. So when I book it on my walks, I can usually get just under the 10-minute mark per kilometer pace. So I can get some I think the fastest I ever got was like just under 9:30. So 9 minutes, 30 seconds in 1 kilometer, which is, I think, my fastest pace. But it's hard to keep that pace going without jogging. So either tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna cook up that prime rib. Again, I rewatched the video. I'm gonna have to watch it again, just take little notes. I think he said either 425 or 450 for the temperature of the stove. And again, I think he rubbed, sorry about the wind, the Dijon mustard, put garlic all over the top, put the whole thing of thyme on top, covered it for a specific amount of time, and then uncovered it for a specific amount of time. So I think you need it to bake in its own heat and juices, and then to crisp up the exterior of it, then you take the lid off. I guess just like a turkey, right? All those years of watching my mom cook turkey, and it's just like, oh, okay, I get it. So after I ate my steak and mushrooms, Carol and I watched a few episodes of Superstore. I think we're on season 2 or 3. And then there's only so many of those you can do in a row. So after we had our laugh watching that, we watched American Assassin. And it was a little more violent than Carol anticipated. It's like, oh, Michael Keaton, oh, it's going to be fun, it's going to be good, and action, lots of action. But there were some pliers and nail pulling scenes, some graphic stabbings, and torches were used. Like, a hand torch that you're supposed to use for plumbing. But this guy used it on a body. So beware if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff. Other than that, good movie. And the bad guy in that, I'm like, oh, I recognize this dude. And so at the end of the movie, went into IMDb. I'm like, I gotta figure out who this guy is. So he's so familiar in the back of my head. What have I seen of him recently? Because it just seemed like I just saw him. But he looks similar, but different, And so it turns out he was the mechanic who gets addicted to OxyContin in Painkiller. And that's I think a 6-episode series with Matthew Broderick. And it's all about how bad OxyContin was and how many people died. And anyway, he played the mechanic who was like kind of the main person who gets addicted to it. So if you're looking for a small series you don't have to invest a whole lot of time in, Painkiller on Netflix is fantastic. Very, very good. That guy passed. Did I get that on video? Wow. That's why I should walk over as far as possible. But that guy passed a car knowing that I was on the road. Holy shit. I'm like, why is that guy going so fast? He's passing somebody with a pedestrian on the road. I just like, when there's no cars coming towards me, I like to walk just on here. It's just, I can get a faster pace. My feet aren't slipping, but I just learned a lesson. I'm not doing that anymore. I prefer life. I choose life. And I'm gonna start, just walk on the dirt. Walk on the dirt. So we're up to 52 minutes. I burned about 300 calories almost. My heart rate's 99 at this pace. And come on, watch. My average pace is 10 minutes and 55 seconds. I stopped and videotaped a couple things. My watch keeps shutting off. I've got to make that longer. And we're almost at 5 kilometers, so we'll be definitely doing 10,000 steps. I just did a 9-minute and 55-second kilometer pace, which was good.
9 minutes, 50 seconds per kilometer.
Nice. An hour and a half, 555 calories.
Split 10, split pace, 9 minutes, 54 seconds per kilometer.
Good. Made it back home, and I managed to do 10 kilometers in an hour and 45 minutes. And my splits were 10:25, burned 622 calories. Total today, 837 calories. Well, there you go, guys. Just out for a nice Saturday walk. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.